Hi everybody, this is Mary Lagakis from managementcoach.ca. I'm just on my way home from a lunch that I just had with a client of mine, in fact, two clients, the president and his right hand. And we just had lunch and we're having some really great conversation about their business and what they've been working on in the last year. And they've been doing a lot of really great work that stemmed out of some meetings that we had a couple of years ago, trying to get their entire organization here in Canada working towards improved profits. And so over the last couple of years, they've been uncovering certain challenges, uncovering weaknesses in their processes, and just putting in place action plans to really overcome some of the challenges that the president, to be honest, when he walked into the role, was really just faced with. They were just challenges that were handed to him that he needed to uncover and overcome. So we're having lunch, and I'm hearing about all of these great strides that they've taken, and there were a few key factors that were contributing to their real significant improvement. When I say significant improvement, we're talking in the millions of dollars. They have found about $3 million in additional profit over the last 2 years. And there were a couple key elements. So the first one was focus. They really focused in on one part of the business and just nailed it out of the park. They got everybody engaged. They got them focused on really just kind of 2 or 3 key strategies, and onward they went. And the second thing that they focused on was people. And what the leadership team did was they really took a quick review, not a quick review, but an early review of the people who are in leadership positions. And they started moving people around, and they started moving people into roles that were more suitable to who they were and what their skill sets were. And so these two kind of key focus areas are what really have allowed them to do something significant, which is to bring the business to a place where businesses are expected to be. And that's the key point I want to make. They are getting to a place where business is running as business should be running when you're just meeting performance expectations. And what I realized when we were having this conversation is this: that all of the activities that they're taking and all of the changes in behaviors that they're experiencing were getting them to a place where they were simply able to maintain a well-run, well-performing business. And it uncovered a really interesting highlight for me, which is there was something missing. And what was missing was the pursuit of corporate greatness. And the pursuit of corporate greatness is, to me, the next horizon for this company. Right now, they're getting to a place where they're just performing to expectations. They are just going to be delivering what every business is expected to deliver, which is make profit, show some growth, and make sure that you've got the right people in the right places performing well. And so they're doing it. What I didn't hear them talking about was, what would it take to get to a place of greatness? And greatness still needed to be defined, and how they get there wasn't even in their consciousness. And so 2 things showed up when I was thinking about how they would get to greatness. And the first is they need to start figuring out what greatness is. What is going to take this organization above and beyond what they're used to? And the second thing that came up was challenges. Everything I had heard them talk about in this lunch conversation was all about fighting fires and facing challenges that have been handed to them. So the difference between what they're doing now and what they'll be doing when they're facing greatness is they're going to be designing their own challenges. Designing their own challenges is a lot more exciting than fighting things that you just had very little to do with putting in before. Anyway, so I think that's really exciting, the fact that they get to design their own challenges to get to a place of greatness. And then the last thing that occurred to me was this concept of personal evolution, and the fact that their people right now are evolving and learning how to run a well-performing business. But when it comes to greatness, one of two things is going to have to happen. They're either going to have to deliver for their people a path to their own human greatness, or they're going to have to bring in people who have already figured it out. And so I encourage them to think about the people that they have and figure out how they can help those people personally evolve to a place of their own personal human greatness that will then support and help sustain an organization that is continually striving for corporate greatness, not just corporate mediocrity, which is doing exactly what businesses are expected to do, which is have profit and grow the business. So that was the summary of this really enlightening lunch that I had. These two gentlemen were totally enthusiastic about it. I really enjoyed my lunchtime with them, and I can't wait to see the great things that are going to come out of this company. So thanks for listening, and feel free to comment below on your thoughts on corporate greatness, personal evolution, and sustaining business performance. Until next time, this is Mary Lagakis signing off as the Management Coach.